DBS community, welcome back. We have another episode of the Just Saiyan Podcast. Chris, myself, obviously here with Kenny. It's been a while. We've been away for a little bit. Obviously, I had some pretty big things going on in my life. I'm sure Kenny's been pretty busy too.
Not as busy as you.
Yeah, I've been very busy, very tired. But it's good. I would say a break, but got some time now to actually do some recording. I was like, you know what, this is a good time for us to do a podcast. So how have you been?
Well, I've been watching a lot of Kyle Chris content coming out and going, man, must be an alien in me. Must hate this podcast as much as everybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, we've been good, man. We've been vibing, just getting some things done outside of the community for now. And now that you're in a good spot to get this going again, I'm ready to get back at it.
Yeah, I am really excited to start recording. Honestly, the break, I recorded, so funny story, I actually recorded the video, all of the deck videos I recorded within like a 2-day span. All kind of, once my daughter, it was the day she was born, I came home, I took like a 4-hour nap. And then the next day...
I'm going to interrupt real quick. Spoilers for those who don't watch all the rest of Kyle Chris's content. That's why we haven't been around, is because Chris had a baby.
Yeah, if you guys don't watch the rest of my videos...
His wife did, but...
Yeah.
He's Kyle dad now.
Yeah, and we had a kid. My beautiful daughter. I love her dearly. But it is a huge difference, man, with not being able to do a lot of stuff. So I've had to kind of change up some things. And was able to do a lot of content. And I mean, for the foreseeable future, I would say until she's a little bit older, it's going to be how things are. But I'm definitely going to try to put out as much content as I can, because my wife actually likes the fact that I have another hobby. So we're not like always like in
she
like
likes that you go away.
yeah, and same thing with her. Like she's out now with the kids. So we were going to do like a traditional podcast. We had a bunch of stuff to talk about, like Fusion World and things like that. But I felt like Kenny definitely gave me the idea, and I agree. I think it's probably better to just do the tier list now, since we're so close to the new set coming out, to kind of give you guys something to discuss. I'm sure I'll see this in some Discord, and people will tell us that we're stupid for these takes. That's the fun part about this.
I don't know. Everybody seemed to like our takes on Set 21, despite how wrong we were on a lot of things.
Yeah, wrong. So,
wrong.
But I definitely think it's probably good to do a tier list, and then sometime in September we'll do, after the set drops, we'll have at least
one regional.
Yeah,
because we have the September 2nd, and I don't think we have any in-persons between now and... No, we do. We have one.
In Tennessee.
Tennessee, and that's the day of the set release.
So it's technically not new set.
They're not allowed to use the new set for the in-person,
yeah.
But I think there's a webcam that day, too. The side events are allowed to.
Yeah, I think there's probably going to be something around that time. So by next podcast, we should have had at least some form of in-person event, whether it's like store champs or something where we can actually dissect some of this data that we're going to go over. But yeah, so we felt like probably a good idea to do was a tier list. And if you look at this tier list, me and Kenny both have the same tier list here.
Mine's out of order. I'll lie to you because I screwed with it while I was harassing you.
Okay. Well, I added obviously all the new stuff. And I added any deck that had some form of support from this last round of promos and the actual set and champ cards. So I'm actually going to...
I'm going to disclaimer, not discourage a lot of viewers. This ain't going to be 3 hours because some of these are going to go real fast just by looking at them.
Yeah, some of this is going to go pretty quickly. I don't actually have the list pulled up in front of me because I'm using every monitor currently for this. So if there's a particular card we need to go over, if you can just pull it up, Kenny, so we can just like talk about it.
A particular like champ card or something.
Yeah. I know what a lot of them do. I don't know memory wise every single one. So I could probably use my phone too, I guess. So we can both kind of tag team it.
Yeah, you don't have enough monitors. You break out the phone.
Yeah, I have a phone. I forgot. I could just use my.
I'm gonna treat phone. You like the Diablo Immortal, press release. What, you all don't have phones?
Yeah, you don't have a phone. You can use this.
God.
What, you don't play Fusion World?
Yeah.
You don't play Fusion World? It's crazy. All right. So, I figured we'd start with, I had mine kind of, as you guys can see here on the video, I had it labeled by blue, red, green, black, and then yellow. Last.
Oh, I can fix this then. Hold on.
So, I think that's probably...
No, it's still screwed up. Okay.
So,
I'll just go with whatever leader you say.
Okay. So we'll start with blue here. And the first one I had was 3Han, which is the superhero Gohan deck, the blue one that charges only to 3 energy. Actually, before we actually even do that, I should probably go over what the tier lists are. I mean, I know they're probably the same, but for anyone who hasn't watched one of these videos before, we have it ranked from S to D, obviously S being the highest. S and A tiers are very similar, with a slight change where S tier or A tiers are high floor and high ceiling. So high floor means entry level, learning the deck, understanding sequencing. Ceiling is the potential that the deck could reach regardless of what the player skill is, whether they're a new player or they're a really experienced player. And then S tier is low floor and high ceiling. So lower floor actually is better because that means there's like easier entry level into the deck. So like
it means the deck can hard carry you.
Exactly. So it's basically meaning there's a lot of those decks, unfortunately, right now in the meta, where the entry level is really, really low. So a lot of people can pick up the deck and you can win, more than 50% of your games. But then there's still a really high ceiling, which I think makes the deck better because it's easier for people to get into, and then it's also very good top end. So like a good example of this would be Gamma.
Green Gohan.
Like right, but like
in fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you to put that right up there now.
Yeah, we'll put it up there. We'll talk about it once we get to green. But I would agree. I would definitely say
that one right off the rip is the first example. That deck has such a low floor.
Yep. So that's kind of how this is gonna go. So leave comments down below if you guys agree, if you guys disagree. Like to hear what you guys have to say. I'm sure me and Kenny will, go back and forth with you guys and discuss it. And if you guys want to share this in any Discord and stuff you guys are in, Facebook, things like that, share it. Positive, negative. Doesn't personally bother me. I have pretty thick skin, but I do like hearing what people have to say, whether it's good or bad. So make sure you guys.
I don't know. I was told once I don't know how Ultimate works, and I cried for a month.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I'm also a really bad player, so I don't know how much of this is actually true or not. So,
this is true. You should see in the locals.
I'm pretty bad. So, Gohan, 3Han. This is the blue superhero leader. I would say I would put this leader in B tier. It's topped a few events. It's gotten top 4. I think it actually got top 4 or top 8 at Madison in Tennessee when I was there. It's done fairly well in some events. It's a deck that actually hard beats a lot of decks in the meta because of the Gohan floodgate that stops your opponent from attacking unless they bottom deck a 2 or less.
You've seen the Frieza meme for that, right?
Yeah.
The golden Frieza meme.
Yep. So, like, that deck has a lot that it can do on very little energy, and it's an Earthling deck. I brought this up in the last video. Any blue Earthling / Saiyan decks are really good because of all the Oob support. Not a lot of support from this particular set, but the deck is still very good. I would say B tier. I don't know about you.
I say I'm on the cusp of B and A because, like, if you know how to pilot that deck, as you said, it's top 4 regionals. Like, It has a very high ceiling. Because it does counteract a lot of the meta. And mind you, it's one card that really does it, but like a good pilot can still take that deck and do far with it. So I like I said, I'm on the cusp of B and A.
So, but do you think that deck does have a high ceiling or a low ceiling? Because that's, I mean, like a high entry level or a low entry level. That's
it has a high entry level, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
It's not one you can just pick up and just know what you're doing and just play the deck. Like, you have to know how to play the deck.
I would agree. Yeah, I'd probably put it in A. It's definitely a higher skill cap because you're only playing with 3 energy, and you have to utilize when you're comboing stuff, when you want to hand dump so you can draw 3 cards again. There's definitely some sequencing to it. So I would agree. I would say A. Yeah, I agree with you there. Next one is Blue 16. Why don't you do that one?
Blue 16. I want to say it's potentially viable.
Okay.
But at the same time, I kind of view it more as a casual deck because when you think blue-green androids, you don't think Android 16.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore. You think Expert 21 or Set 21 or Set, was it 20? Set 20? Yeah, Set 2021. You don't think Android 16. And strictly because of that, those decks that do what Android 16 wants to do, but better.
Yeah.
I think 16 just has to sit in casual. Only because there's two decks that play a lot of the exact same card, but do it better.
I would say C tier. I think it's just missing a unison that draws. Like,
I don't know. I think we're moving out of unisons, though. That's the problem.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I would say D tier. I would say D tier. Yeah. It's casual. It's it had its run, and honestly, Jared Lopez, who was the person who kind of put 16 on the map, he switched over to playing Expert Deck 21, which is basically the same deck, just more hand destruction. So that's definitely a better deck.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get to that one, the next one on my list is Set 21. So that's the Nature of Evil. That's the one that can use your opponent's cards for energy. I would say that I would put this deck in. God, I want to say I'm going to put it in A tier. I'm going to put it in front of Gohan for A tier. I do not believe it's S tier. It wins a lot. It tops a lot. It's a very, very good deck. The ceiling for this deck is very, very high, but I also think the entry level is pretty high. A deck that utilizes your opponent's energy. For one, blue decks, like you can literally just demolish blue decks. Like you can literally use all of their cards for energy. Green, you can use them for your important energy that you need to use them for. But this deck does kind of get throttled by aggro decks, and if you miss sequence, because people are teching, you side deck against 21. Like this is a deck you have to side deck against in a lot of cases. So if you side deck correctly, you can beat a really bad Android 21 player.
Yep.
And because like you have all these 10Ks, you have all these different things that like your deck needs to utilize. If you get countered, you lose so much. So I would definitely put it in A tier. It's definitely right now the top of A tier.
Yeah,
but not. I don't think it's S tier. I agree with a lot. Like there's a lot of European players who think this deck is really bad, because this deck doesn't do a lot in European settings. It gets throttled by yellow. So it's kind of in that weird cusp. Like over in America, I think this is the new like Crimson. Like a lot of people play 21 as how they're playing Crimson. Maybe that's like the extent, but it's kind of filling that blue void because the US, the NA players really like blue from what we discussed in the last podcast with Damien. So, yeah.
No, I agree with you there. You know, and it's strictly because of the every other color but blue and green matchups that I agree that it belongs in A and not S.
Yeah.
Like, if there were no other colors in the game but blue and green, that deck would be an S deck. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because you just abuse your opponent's cards.
Yeah. It's still really broken being able to use your opponent's cards for, like, colorless energy.
Yeah, but
it's
you don't
way
get
better
as much
in the
value out of it.
Way better in blue decks, yeah.
Yeah.
So next one I have on the list is the new Goku Vegeta deck. I see people calling it Shield Jita. I hate that name. I called it Aegis Jita in my video. I don't know if that name's gonna stick either. I know a lot of people don't like the Jita names. I think they're kind of fun. But this is the new blue yellow Aegis deck. So I'll give you that one. I don't know where you kind of would think the deck would fall.
It's either A tier or S tier, honestly. Like, I've seen a lot of play of it, a lot of discussion about it, and Aegis itself was always such a good mechanic.
Yeah. R.I.P. Bojack.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bojack. Don't ever come back.
I love that.
Pouring out for my boy.
I fucking love that card, man.
Don't ever come back. I played green too long to have to deal with that card again. You know, so I haven't played the deck personally. I haven't tested it personally, so I can't speak. But just by looking at the cards, reading the cards, it might be an S deck. I say
A. I think it's still hard to play. Like I think it's a higher entry level. So a lot of people who've never played the game before, this isn't gonna be their first time experiencing Aegis. Obviously, it's only a defensive skill. This deck is incredibly hard to kill, but this deck lacks kill power. Other than there's a combination where you use your Z leader, and the Z extra card that gives your leader triple strike. And you'll swing with your leader. They'll negate. They'll baby ape. And then you use a leader effect to restand 2 blue energy. And then you use that 2 blue energy to activate the Z extra card, which gives your leader, I think it's either 10 or 15k and triple strike. So like it's a way of basically just like, it's a 5 energy play, but like it's a way of basically just sealing the game.
Well, that's you play like, blue, so it's not like you're not getting to 5 energy anyway.
Yeah. And that's like the only real like finisher, quote unquote, for the deck. Like the 8-drop is the non-secret rare is very good. It's not going to end games. It's probably just going to get negated. That card itself is good, but it's more a defensive piece. Then same thing with the secret rare. The secret rare, it's very overhyped. I think it's good, but it's just strictly defensive, and it's good, but like eventually you're gonna run out of defensive pieces. So it's like almost, I don't want to say a stall deck, but it kind of feels like that. But because of that, I would say A tier, because it's not a deck like Aegis is not something you can just pick up and just pilot.
Okay.
The deck does the engine itself is so big. You have to run so many Gokus and Vegetas. You don't have a lot of room for tech pieces. There's the new SR that's good.
It's almost like I played green and understand that one completely.
Yeah, there's just too much room for this bullshit you have to run with the Union and having the Aegis stuff. So, A for sure. I'm not gonna put it above 21 though, because 21.
I'm putting it above 3 Han.
Yeah, I think 21 just throttles almost every blue deck in the format, or that exists in the game.
I mean, honestly, frankly, it'll be hard for me to put a deck above 21 in that A tier anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that deck is borderline S.
Next one I'll take is the Whis, Invitation to Battle. So this is one of the decks that was added because it has new support. So it has 2 new cards in the new set. One's a Whis, one's a Beerus. I don't know why they're doing this. The last set they did the same thing where they released an SR Beerus and an SR Whis that was supporting older archetypes. I think they're doing this thing where they're just... I'm fine with it. It's cool. Like, support older decks. This deck's never seen play. It has like 4 promos. Like, has a winner stamp, like 3 or 4 promos, and now more support. Essentially, the idea is that you play battle cards on your opponent's turn, and you have these Beeruses that when you KO stuff, you get effects off of them. That's like the whole point of it. You basically make these big battle cards. You swing into other battle cards, and then those battle cards restand and give you effects. It's missing pieces. I'm saying a lot of words for it to just missing pieces. It might come up in locals. I think the deck, again, has too many pieces you have to utilize in order for it to be very good. The new Whis is really cool because now you can play a lot of your 2-cost Beeruses for 1, which was kind of the whole problem, is that you had to swing out a battle card and KO it, and then play the card after the combo step. With the new Whis, you can play them after the combo step regardless. And then the bigger Beerus is now like this big dual attack double striker that you can play for like 2 energy, I think. So it's a lot of big shit you can play, just not going to be competitively viable, I think, for a while. So next one is 7-Ku. So this is the Goku that has double strike and crit. The reboot.
Yeah, Tyler Ku.
Yeah, Tyler Ku. Yeah.
Tyler Ku. He's gonna hate B tier.
Yeah, I think B's fine.
Yeah, he's not gonna be happy with that. Sorry, Tyler. My wedding gift to you is putting it in B tier instead of putting it in D tier. So.
I think it truly depends on the pilot.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it is. It's a very pilot-dependent deck, and that's the reason it is potentially viable. If it's one of them decks that if you invest the time, and you know your matchups, and you know how your deck runs, and you know how to play in what situations, you'll do fine.
Yep.
But it's not one of them decks that if you've never played it before, you're gonna go, oh yeah, I'll just run a few games with 7-Ku and then go win a regional with. It doesn't work. It won't work like that.
Yeah, Tyler should have topped when he played it in Tennessee. Just some things came up, but this deck throttles 21. Like it's not even close. Like if anyone plays against Tyler playing 7-Ku and you're playing Inter 21, the set 21, he's going to beat you probably 9 times out of 10. Like the deck is it just throttles that deck so bad. And it beats a lot of the other meta decks too. It's just it's a slow control deck. It's a slow blue control deck. So you just have to. It's completely pilot dependent. I agree. The next one's gonna be kind of quick. I had SS4 Vegeta. I think this is not as good as 7Ku. I'm gonna put it in missing pieces. I'm gonna put it in B tier just behind 7Ku. I don't really have much to say about it. It's just another blue ramp deck. I just don't think it's as good as 7Ku because 7Ku has a built-in double strike crit leader. So yeah, not much to say about it.
Yeah. Say you said everything I would say about the deck.
Next is the Trunks reboot. We both have a lot of experience playing this deck because we have a guy at our locals who plays like nothing but this Trunks deck. So, what's yours?
I think it's high ceiling, high floor.
Yeah.
I think it's above 3 Han, 100%. And it's right up there with that Aegis deck. It's probably neck and neck with that because it's one of them decks that if you can pilot, you will see success.
Mm-hmm.
Or you'll lose to me playing Gohan. Gotta throw out the shade where I can for that one time.
It's fair, yeah. Very good deck. Earthling Saiyan deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's blue good stuff.
Yep.
It's got removal. It's anti-crit. You can't crit the leader. So, yeah, I think that deck is very good. Played against it a lot, so I have a lot of practice against it. So, if it ever becomes like the blue deck, I got tons of fucking practice.
Tons of practice.
Soul Striker, I think this is a deck that we just need to let die. I hate seeing people play Soul Striker. I still think it's good. I'm gonna put it.
Probably potentially viable.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
SS4 Gogeta or SS4 Vegeta.
Yeah, I think it's better than Vegeta. Not as good as Tyler Ku.
Nope.
I hate talking about the deck. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah, I'm so sick of seeing Soul Striker. I shouldn't even put it on the list, but I felt like I needed to because it has topped and.
Because you'll have that one guy who goes, "What about Soul Striker?"
Yeah, I think it topped in Oceania or Europe, one of those places. But yeah, it's a fucking blue deck. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Next one was Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This is the blue skillless deck. I don't know how much you have about that deck.
I mean, I haven't seen it since the deck came out.
It got top 4 in Latin America.
All right, I'm gonna disclaimer you right. That is a different planet. Go takes won 3 regionals in a row in Latin America.
He lost to the guy who was playing Gotenks, but he was playing Green Gohan. So,
like I said, Latin America is its own planet. Don't get me wrong, those results are results, but at the same time, like, I'm gonna really take it with a grain of salt.
Do we say where do you want to put it? D, S, low B?
I think it's D tier. I think that's a casual deck, and just the person who piloted it performed well that day, or he dodged every single bad matchup he could have.
That's fair. That's a deck that.
I also have to find it because your list may be in color order, but mine is not.
It's called Push to the Brink. Super Saiyan 2.
That'll help.
It's a yellow background.
Oh, there it is. Okay, Bojack Gohan.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
All right. So I have the reboot Rose Goku deck. I'm gonna put it in casual as well. I'm actually gonna put it below Gohan. This deck has completely underperformed as much as I thought it was gonna do well, being in a non-red format. I think it's because yellow exists and yellow just gets rid of indestructible, so it doesn't really matter. The deck just has too many pieces you have to utilize, and because we're in a highly represented yellow format, that it just can't survive. It's too slow. Next is the Janempa Mill Leader.
Whew. Casual.
Yeah.
because the new Janemba support wasn't for Janemba Mill.
Yeah.
I
fucking hate Janemba Mill. If you play Janemba Mill, never mind. I don't want to say it.
Just play Oob Mill like a man.
Yeah, just play Oob Mill. What the fuck's wrong with you? I cannot stand this leader. It's like the there's like kids in art class who know how to paint, and then there's the kids who eat glue and finger paint. Those are people who play Janemba. If that pertains to you, then it pertains to you. But
Chris, I thought I was the one on the podcast for the commentary like that, and I thought you were the guy that knew everything, and then it seems like we're kind of switching a little bit here, man.
Yeah.
I think fatherhood's making you kind of jaded.
Dude, I've become so much more angry as a father. It's great. I hate Janemba. I hate this deck. It's so stupid. Kill
We're
Fire.
gonna move on before Chris gets more angry.
Yeah. We're gonna move on. So next one is Self-Control 21. So this is the Expert Deck 21. I'm gonna put this in S tier. I'm actually gonna put this above Set 21. The reason is because it's hand destruction, and that actually does matter in the matchup against 21. The deck is incredibly difficult to pilot. You have
then you would mean A tier.
Yeah. So it's high ceiling, it's a high floor, high ceiling.
Okay, that's why you confused me, because you said S tier, and I'm like,
sorry. Yeah, I think it's on the verge of like
it's just like the other 21 deck. It's right on that line.
Yeah, it's not an easy deck to play. You have so many different triggers you have to worry about. You have the Roshi, which can cycle cards, which then triggers your leader and your unison. You have the new promo that triggers that stuff. You also have to keep track of, because then if you play it on your opponent's turn, it triggers on your next turn, so you can stack them. It's got so much shit going on, but it's such a cool deck. It's a better green deck than every other green deck. Like, Gohan is kind of its own thing, but like, it does green better than green decks does. Like, than green decks can do, being able to hand destruction. You know what I mean? So, and it can restore life. Like, it's got all the blue defensive tools and then the hand destruction tools. Yeah, I think it's potentially the best blue deck. Except for 21, like the other 21. I think both 21s are still probably the best blue decks you're gonna play.
They're 1A, 1B.
Yeah. Anything that I don't know if you actually have you played against this deck?
Whenever I've seen 21, it's been the set 2021 as of since set 20. Okay. Like, I've played against obviously the Expert Deck 21 before.
Yeah.
But ever since set 2021 has come out, no, I have not seen that one.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nuisance. But it is a hard deck to pilot.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does not keep a big hand size. Obviously your opponent shouldn't either, because of what you're doing. But you have to basically you have to have a unison on board. You have to be able to cycle cards. If you don't, you're gonna lose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next one is the new set Janemba. I called it Big Nemba because it plays big battle cards. But this is Silent Demon Janemba.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a picture of Janemba like this.
It's the one that looks like fan art with the sword.
Everyone gets a close-up of my forehead while I try to find this. Holy hell. Oh, there he is. Holy shit. Snake It would have killed me. Unlike that deck. Missing pieces.
Yeah.
Above Whis, because I think we're going to get more support for it. Unless they're just trying to one and done with this. But, like, when we were expecting Janemba reveals, when Fash did his little, cryptic windmills stuff, and, like, basically tried to egg us on to what we were getting reveals for, and everyone thought we were getting Janemba stuff, we got excited because people, Chris may hate them, but they love Janemba Mill.
I was so ready to record like a uncensored like rant Like I was really like I had the idea and everything ready, and then they did this, and I was like, thank God, because I was about to roast.
And then, like I said, and then the problem is you're making this deck, and then you want it to come into this meta where blue decks are predominantly that. Why would you play this competitively over 21?
Yeah.
Ever, with the exception of cost, I guess.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really cheap deck.
Yeah.
You technically can be really aggro with being able to play the 19Ks out. Like the fact that the field is not once per turn, you can just tap 3 blue and play 3 guys. But yeah, it's missing something. I don't know what it is. I think it would have been really cool if they would have given you support. Like if you could use all the Janempa Xeno stuff.
Yeah, and that's the problem. Is it doesn't have access to all the other Janempa stuff.
Yeah,
it has access to its set 22 stuff.
Yeah.
And blue staples.
Yep.
That we've seen, with the exception of green decks, just out of the box, your set stuff does not typically end well.
Yeah.
You have to have access to, if you're a repeat archetype, you need to be able to use your old archetype stuff. Case in point, Android 21.
Yeah.
It had access to all of the old blue-green Android stuff, plus its new kit. That's what made it phenomenal.
Yep.
Janemba won't do that.
Yep. C tier. Next one's PyCon. This is gonna be really quick. It's a casual deck. I'm gonna put it above Goku Black.
West Galaxy Warrior?
Yeah. Well, it did get a new promo.
Christian, look at me. Right here in the eyes. The deck is still cheeks, my guy.
He's gonna play it.
No, he's gonna play it 100%.
The promo's cool because you can play the boss monster and the Seeker Rare off of it, but that means you're not playing Beast Gohan, which makes it a really inferior blue deck. So it's casual. Next one is Blue Baby. So this is the newer Blue Baby, not the Negate
aggro
Blue Baby.
Yeah. Missing pieces.
So this one I'm gonna disagree. I think this is potentially viable. So the reason is, the deck right now is actually very good. The deck plays out a lot of cards. It utilizes Beast Gohan very well. It did get a new champ card. So I don't know if you I don't know if you got a chance to read that card.
That's the Blue Baby one?
Yeah, so it's a 2 cost. So it's an 8-drop 35k deflect double striker. You play it for 2 if you have the Tuffle thing in play. And then when you play it, you bottom deck one of your opponent's battle cards, and then you bottom deck a 4 or less, ignoring barrier. So it removes two things on board, including a barrier card. The 4 cost or less is very specific, but being able to hit like the Trunks barrier blocker, being able to hit the Sin promo, that's very good. And then the field spell, because you play out a baby, you get to play out a brainwash underneath. So you get 2 battle cards and then 2 removal for 2 energy. And it's a 5k combo. So
see, I want to agree with you because on paper that makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, we know people that tried for example, all that experience you have against Blue Trunks, he was playing Blue Baby initially.
Well, yeah, like I said, I don't think Blue Baby is Blue Baby is not an A tier deck, but I definitely think it's more viable. It's really close to being if we had a ban list, if there was a ban list and 21 stuff was hit, and there was some other stuff that was possibly hit in the blue realm, this deck would be A tier. But I think not A tier, but close to being a meta consistent deck. I think it is viable because of the new champ card, and because it just has access to all the other blue stuff. But I think I think that was the piece that it was missing, was some sort of barrier removal that wasn't Beast Gohan, and now you have a 2-drop that removes 2 things and plays 2 bodies.
Okay, no, I'll give it to you.
I'm gonna put it above Soul Striker just because
You hate Soul Striker?
I hate Soul Striker, but I'm gonna put it behind Tyler Coup, which is that is my new name for that deck. Is Tyler Coup. All right, so we have 3 blue decks left. We have the Angel Coup deck, or the Otherworldly Goku deck. We have Oob, and we have Red Ribbon Army. I'll let you choose.
Well, I'll make it easy. I'll do Red Ribbon Army real quick. Casual. Moving on.
Yep.
Moving on. We're not even gonna, there's nothing to discuss there.
The Angel Coup deck, I'm gonna put in Missing Pieces. I'm gonna put it below Janemba. Yeah, that's it. I have much to say about it. All right, so we have Oob.
Hold on, let me find the Red Ribbon deck.
So while you're finding it,
that's the robot, right?
Yeah. So the deck did get a champ card, a Z extra card.
Matter.
It doesn't matter at all. It's not very good. It plays out a Commander Red card. It's actually a 2 cost, which I think if I look at the Z extra cards, I think it's the only one that's a 2 cost.
Yeah, that costs 2 Z energy.
Yeah, two Z energy.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, it's bad. All right.
Yeah, it's bad.
All right, so
bad. Moving
now
on.
we can go over the last blue card together, which is Mr. Boo and Oob. Depending on how this goes, Jacob might DDoS me, so we just need to make sure we put this correctly. So Jacob
casual below Janemba. Got it.
Yeah, I think it's actually. Hold on, I'm gonna actually make another tier list, or another. I'm gonna make another tier real quick, and it's gonna say. It's gonna say.
Jacob, please don't DDoS me.
It's casual unless your Jacob is confused. So I'm gonna put it. Yep, I'm gonna make it blue. I'm gonna put Oob right there. So I do think I think this deck is not very good. I do not think it's very good. I looked at our tier list from last time and we had it in casual. I think it's a casual deck. However, I think the milling aspect of it is very interesting. How Jacob actually built the deck. Jacob and another guy, I forgot the other guy's name, but he's also from Hermit Style, so I didn't want to disrespect you. I don't remember your name, though. They built the deck. They both topped with it. I think now that people know, if people see Oob, they're going to know what the deck does.
Yep.
And I don't think it's going to have the same effect.
Don't get me wrong, it's not to discredit, Jacob as a player.
No, absolutely not.
Because he is a great player at this game, but the biggest thing he had going for him into that event was the mystery factor.
Yep.
People saw Oob and they thought it was going to be doo-doo. And then he went and milled you out.
Yep. The deck does not have a very good Gohan matchup, so that is something. The deck does struggle against Gohan, and the more Gohan that there is at that particular time, the deck might struggle against. But if your deck draws a ton of cards, he was beating Golden Frieza players and other decks because they just draw a shit ton of cards, and he's just helping them mill. So, if you are not Jacob or that other guy, it's probably a casual deck. But for them, it's just a pilot heavy deck. So, but I am going to give him his own tier because I think he deserves it. So
that's fair.
Yeah. And I'm happy that he topped with a mill deck like how I topped with Xenosin last year. I'm happy that he should have won the event. So that's why it's not higher, but that's on you, Jacob.
Yep, way to go.
All right, so next is red. I have Bulma first. I'm going to put Bulma in potentially viable. I'm going to put it above Vegeta. Actually, I'm gonna keep putting things above Soul Striker just because I don't like Soul Striker. It plays out a shit ton of stuff. It didn't get any new tools yet. It's just a really annoying control deck. They didn't ban the Videl cycle, so you can still do that. Yeah.
But you're in a blue meta, so.
Yeah, you're slightly worse now because of all the blue stuff that can just remove your board and things. So yeah, I'll put it in B tier.
Yeah, they hit Dirty Burst, but that's all they've done.
I'll let you do. I'll take the shitty decks. I'll let you do. You can either pick Beast Gohan or Cell Max.
Oh. I'll do Cell Max.
Okay.
I think Cell Max belongs to potentially viable.
Okay. Where do you think it belongs? Like higher?
I think it belongs above Bulma.
Yeah.
And that's because it is a generic red leader.
Yep.
It is. I mean, the cards that are coming out for it are good. They're not, not over the top.
No.
Like, I think their boss monster doesn't have deflect or barrier or any protection to it. So it kind of levels it out, but it has access to all of the red generic tools. It isn't, it isn't like a 30-40 card engine to play the Cell Max stuff if you want to play it. So I think it's just a good generic leader. I think it is potentially viable just because you could slap red good stuff in there.
I'm actually going to put it above... I'm going to put it at the top of B tier right now.
Man.
I think it next to Pan. I think it's the best. If you want to play red, you're going to play Pan or you're going to play this deck. Being able to draw on your opponent's turn by free playing cards is nuts. Like, there's so many different cards in the game that neg energy or neg power.
If we're gonna bring up Pan in that comparison, I'm assuming Pan's just going in the same spot then for the same argument.
I'm putting Pan in S tier.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll discuss that.
Yeah. So Cell has almost no engine. You play a card that searches out red ribbon cards, and you play a 1-drop cantrip that can give any red ribbon card double strike.
Yep.
And then you play the field spell, which is the extra card, which is in your Z deck. And then you have two different 8-cost cells. You have the one from the set, that's a blocker, 25k, and then you have the promo, which can neg something 10k when you play it, and then it can restand itself to neg something 20k. Both of those cards can be given. I actually don't know what the effect is. So it's omnidirectional beam. That's the Z extra card. I forgot what it gives. Let me look real quick. It gives a 8-cost something. Oh, it gives an 8-cost 15k and double strike. And you can play it for... you can play the Z extra card for 1 if you pop one of your cards. So, what that means is that you can make either one of your 8 costs, either a 45k double strike or a 40k double strike. That's pretty good, I think.
Like I said, it is generically good.
Yeah. You can play the new 5-drop Gamma card, which is fucking crazy. It's searchable. Like, there's a lot of stuff that deck can do. It can take its own life if you need to, so you can't get stalled out at 6 or 5. So I think it's just incredibly generically good. The one problem with it, why it's not S tier, is that it's not a Saiyan leader. So
yep.
And you don't have access to some of the defensive stuff that Red Saiyan decks get. Well, then I'll take Beast Gohan. I think Beast Gohan is low B tier. So I'm actually going to put it below... I'm actually going to put it below Soul Striker, even though I don't want to. The deck is... I think the deck's going to have to prove itself. I think on paper, the archetype is very finicky. So, like, you have to play the Piccolos in order to get to your Z Awaken. But once you get to your Z Awaken leader, it's very good. You can use the new secret rare to get to your Z leader for a turn, like a burst. But it kind of lacks. Like, you have to play these Piccolo and Gohan archetype that's not very good. It's very mid to really get into the stuff. But once you get into it, it is not awful. I just think the archetype's just too big. And if you're going to play a Red Saiyan leader, you're going to play Pan.
Yep.
So, I'll let you pick any red deck. Pick any of the red decks.
Give me a second. Nope. Okay, we're good. Here, can I pick 2?
Sure.
Jiren and Garlic Jr., just throw them in casual and move on.
I think Jiren's casual. I think it's just casual because nobody plays it. I think it's not awful, but it's not great. So
like I said, just slap Jiren and Garlic Jr. in casual and move on.
I'm gonna put Garlic at the very end. I'm gonna put Jiren.
I put Jiren above Red Ribbon, and Garlic Jr. at the absolute end.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we could also put the Universe 3 deck down there too, because that deck's.
Oh yeah, let's get that out the way.
I'll put that at the very bottom.
Yeah, that can go. That can go right behind Garlic Jr.
It got a champ card, but I don't care to read it, so it's just gonna go at the back.
Yay!
Yeah, it's awful. Have you read up on the Dr. Hito deck? That's the other red deck that's coming out in the new set.
Isn't it just basically red Gamma?
No, it's like really red aggro. It plays out a bunch of. Yeah, so it plays.
No, I haven't read much. I've seen some stuff about it, but like haven't been paying that much attention.
Okay, so it plays out a lot of stuff, a lot of Gamma 1 and 2s, and you can restand them. They gain barrier and stuff on your turn, but then on your opponent's turn they have like no defense. It's kind of like an all gas, no brakes, but then like the gas is like 40 miles an hour.
Oh, so it's missing pieces?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it in missing pieces. I think it's missing. Truthfully, I think it's missing a really good secret rare because it's not a Saiyan, so it can't play Vegito. The best secret rare for the deck is like Pan. But Pan just kind of feels kind of mid because the deck itself doesn't have it has a bunch of like 10 and 15k swings that could potentially be 15 and 20k and 25k swings if you play out all your pieces and they survive. But I'm gonna put it above. Whis.
It's all gas if Gallo and all gas was 40 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's all gas if it was like a golf cart. All right, you got your pick of the litter for the red decks.
It's all. Does Broly Surge count as a red deck, or we count that as green?
You can count it as a red deck. That's fine.
Potentially viable.
Yep.
And I'm putting it right behind Cell Max.
Really?
Yes. The thing is with the deck, it's not just the red deck.
It's true.
It's a red. Yeah. It's a red Saiyan, but it's also a green Saiyan.
Yeah. Yep.
And that right there, you have access to every good red and green tool that every red and green Saiyan deck have access to in one leader.
Yep.
And it just got a bunch of support. And if I know you've read the cards because you and I have discussed them, some of them cards are actually really good.
No, I agree. Yeah.
The only problem this deck's gonna have is accessibility because if you didn't buy your champ Broly's, go have fun.
Yeah, I think it's I'm gonna put it below. No, My only downside to the deck is that once you awaken, the deck loses so much steam.
Yes,
that's like the only downside. But I do think the deck's very good. I'll leave it there because I'm sure we can. I mean, we have a lot of other decks to cover. So, let's see. Trio Saiyan deck. I think it's missing pieces. That's the one with Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. Yep. It's very cool. It lacks everything. I think it's just kind of there. I'm gonna put it above Dr. Hito though because it is a red Saiyan leader. Exodia. I'm gonna put Exodia in casual because if you play this deck, you're like the typical like Magic Yu-Gi-Oh player, and
if you play this deck, Chris will come to your house and find you.
Honestly, people.
That's the set 6 Gogeta, right?
Yeah, like honestly, people who play this deck, you either you go to a shop that sells like vapes and you hang out talking about the different flavors and you still live in your mom's basement, or because we know people like that and they wear like one hoop earring. The other thing is that you're either A, that, or B, God, I don't want to say it. Never mind.
For those who have never been with us before, you have clearly missed every other rant he has ever made about this deck, and you're going to experience it now.
Yeah, it's you. Yeah. People. Yeah. So the other person who plays Gogeta are the people who show up to locals with like the NSFW playmats of anime girl characters, or like.
God, you are triggering like 90% of your viewership
Dude,
now.
I fucking hate this deck. It's so stupid. It should not function. It's fucking awful. I'm actually gonna put it at the very end. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm gonna be realistic. I'm gonna put it above Jiren.
Okay.
I'll put it above Jiren. Not that it matters because all these decks are casual, but put it above Jiren. All right. Polku. Power Polku. You can take that one.
I think potentially viable, but I think it's the bottom of potentially viable.
Yeah.
Because it's another one of those. It's a red Saiyan leader, so it's got that going for it. But again, why would I play that over Pan?
Yeah, it focuses too much on having to keep a card alive that has power pull underneath it. So.
And red doesn't have the defensive tools for that.
No. Android 13. I'm gonna put it above Bulma. I still believe in this deck. I think it's still very good. It has not gotten any new support, but the deck itself still functions the way that it needs to. It's just kind of like the old. It's like that meme with Andy from Toy Story.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But I think it's still a very, very viable deck.
Warriors of Universe 7, casual.
Yeah, I think the Invoker stuff, I think it's kind of lost its... I'm kind of sad because I wish this deck was good, but it focuses too much on... It loses to a $20 black SR.
Yep.
It's basically... Yeah, it loses to one fucking card. And everybody sides it. Or main decks it. So it's... Yeah. I'm gonna put it above Gogeta because fuck that deck. Cooler Mill. Another deck that I absolutely despise. I'm gonna put it below Oob. I'm gonna put it in the Jacob category because it's a mill deck.
No, we're just gonna put mill decks in the Jacob category.
Yep. In all honesty, though, it got support with the new Z extra card, Omnidirectional Beam, because you can neg your entire opponent's board. You don't draw off of it because it's not an extra card, but you can still neg their whole board.
Yeah, but you got to invest 3 energy into it if you're not Cell.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That's the problem.
But it's just kind of it's bad. There's a combination. I'm putting it in this category because Jacob did come up with a combination with the 5-drop Frieza and this card. You can do it on turn 5, but it's way too many pieces to do it, and I think he knows that, which is why he's probably not going to do it. But it's there. All right, so now you have U7 Goku or Pan.
U7 Goku, I think, also goes with the Warriors of Universe 7.
Really?
Oh no, I'm thinking of him as Invoker. Never mind.
Yeah.
I think it could be potentially viable, right there with Polku.
Will put it. I'm going to put it above Vegeta.
Okay. Yeah. So you have UI Goku, Vegeta, then Polku. That's your bottom 3. So we're like understanding where we're putting this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The deck, the deck never really died. It's like you said about the Andy meme. It just quit getting played.
Well, it did kind of die because of Gamma.
But Gamma's gone.
Gamma's gone now. So
we took it out back. We shot it. It's dead now. It can't hurt you anymore.
Thank God. Yeah.
And Dirty Burst is gone.
That's actually why it took me so long to make this video. I had therapy going over Gamma stuff. I had to talk about Gamma. It got a new champ card. So it has a new Z extra card. You want to read that to everybody if you can read it?
Oh, let me go find it real quick.
It's called the Final Confrontation.
Give me a second. I got enough tabs open to start an army. Final confrontation. Oh, yeah, that one. Oof. God, they need to just give us the official ones. These leaks are horrible. It's one cost, one Z energy red extra card, obviously. When you Red Sun Goku with energy cost of, I think it's 5? I don't know, that's blurry as hell.
What are you looking at?
The final confrontation.
Okay.
The first auto.
Let me go back.
Like I said, it's so fucking blurry.
I know Bandai. I don't know why they haven't actually revealed this stuff yet.
Yeah, if we have the leaks, just go ahead and give it to us, guys. Come on.
Let's see. It says 8.
Oh, that's an 8. Cool.
So it's for the boss monster.
Yeah. So when your Red Sun Goku with energy cost of with an energy cost of 8 is removed from a battle area by opponent's skill, play up to 1 Golden Frieza and 17 determined tag team from your drop with 1 marker on it. So it replays the Unison, and then remove this card from the game.
Yeah, it's a Unison that nobody plays.
Yep, the Unison that nobody plays.
Yep.
At the end of your turn, choose up to 1 of your red U7 mono red U7 cards, switch to act mode, and that card gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn. That's the important thing.
That's very good.
And then the activate main limit 1 if your leader is that Goku. And you have 4 more energy, reduce the cost of activate main on Son Goku Ultra Mastery in your hand by 1 red for the turn. That's where the money is on this card.
Yeah.
You get your boss monster out cheaper.
Yep. And as long as it doesn't get matadoed or arrested or negated or
petrified or
something, yeah, you're going to get the effect off, which you get to look at your opponent's hand, which is very good.
Yeah, for less energy.
Yep. 1 less energy. Woo!
Oh, that was painful, man. I just had an eye exam like a month ago, and that still hurt to read.
All right, I'll read the rest of them for now for you.
Oh my god.
So you don't have to do that. But yeah, I think it's potentially viable too. It's such a cool deck. It's so powerful. But
oh, it was the Boogeyman when it came out.
Yep, you can't overwhelm, so you still have to play Vegeta, secret rare, which is meh.
Well, that's not true. You don't have to play Vegeta anymore. You can play the new one. The one with Gohan on it?
Yeah, you don't have a Z leader though.
I mean, never said it was good. You could play it.
That's true. Okay.
You could also play Pan, could you not?
Yeah, you can play. Yeah, you can play Pan.
Yeah, say you're not restricted to mono red battle card.
Yeah, but if you mill it though, then it's gone.
Well, and that's the only reason you'll play the Vegetas, because if you mill it.
Yeah. All right, and that leaves us with Pan. So as I said, I think Pan's an S tier deck. Because of the low floor, I think the deck is very easy to pilot.
Yeah.
It has so many different play lines. It's probably going to be the tail end of S tier decks, so just keep that in mind for people who are watching. At least in my opinion, I think it's going to be the tail end of the S tier decks. The new set, it got a really good promo. So I did make a video where I haven't posted it yet. Actually, it might come out before this. I don't know. Where I went over all the promos. I think it's going to be the most expensive non-winner promo from the set. So it's a 15k body. If you have the Defender of Life Z battle card in play, it's a free negate. So it's basically like a Metacooler negate. It's got blocker on it, so it's like a token negate. And it's 15k, meaning if you play it, you're going to give it 5k and draw a card. So it's a free play 20k blocker that draws a card. That's really good.
That's really good.
And again, it gained another card you can play now. So it has the Goku Piccolo from last set. That's a 25k dual attacker. That becomes a 30k. Then now you have the new Gohan, the Beast Gohan from the Gohan deck. That's a 30k dual attacker. That if your opponent activates a counter, you can neg a battle card. You neg their leader by 5k for the turn. So that becomes a 35k dual attacker.
Yep.
I think that's very good. So I think it's weird because I think Pan demolishes 21. Every video that I've watched where like Pan and 21 has gone up against each other. There's a few YouTube channels that do like locals every week, so I'll watch them. And I think it's like MUT or something. I'm sorry if I butchered your guys' YouTube channel name. I can't remember off the top of my head. But this Pan player, like, demolishes every blue deck that he plays against that I watch on this, like, stream. Like, kills him, like, turn 3, turn 4. Like, the game's always over. So it's weird that Pan doesn't top as much. But I think it's definitely if you are playing red, you're going to be playing that deck. It makes it easy. If deck has a low entry, it makes the deck good, obviously. So next is green. I'll let you kind of lead the green discussion.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll lead with a correction.
Okay.
Green cell potentially viable.
Yeah, I would put this actually above a lot of the decks in B2.
Don't go back and see that we said this deck is bad. Don't go and do that. Just forget that was ever discussed in our last tier video.
The deck is very good.
The deck is surprisingly good.
Yeah, it's fucking annoying that it's good.
I remember when we had this discussion about this deck with our last tier list, and then Chris a few weeks later says, "Hey, I want to build Cell." And I took it as a meme just to kind of put our money where our mouth is to prove the deck was bad. And then he built it. And then he started winning with it. And then the deck started performing. And then we went, well, shit, we were wrong about this one.
Yep. Oh, it's a very good deck. It's a very good deck. I haven't posted the video yet, but I played against I played it in one of the online events. Granted, I was kind of tilted from the day before where I should have got my invite and I didn't, so I just played Cell. And I demolished this Android 21 player. It was bad. It was bad. The deck has so much hand destruction, and the deck is getting a winter stamp card that's coming out, the Cell, where you can basically turn it into a 6 cost, a 7 cost, an 8 cost, or a 9 cost for free, which then allows you to go into any of your successor pieces or into Xenocell to get your correct numbers. It is so insanely good. I played the deck on Untap, which is awful to play a lot of these decks that have these like crazy interactions. But like that card makes the deck so much better. And that's if you play Gingertown. You don't even have to play Gingertown. You can play blue, green, blue, green, yellow, which is a build that we actually built, where you can just play like blue restanding and stuff. The deck is very good. I'm going to put it behind Tyler Coup because I've played against that deck, and that deck completely shits on Cell if you don't kill them before they play Turning the Tide. It is a very good green deck. If it ever gets into like the top tier meta, it is a high floor deck.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very easy to play. You can easily just get clapped if you don't sequence correctly. But it is a very good deck. So apologize to the people who said it was good and I laughed at them because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, we learned our lesson.
Is there any green decks you just want to throw into missing pieces or casual so we can shorten this video?
Yeah, let's go ahead and put Beerus and Champa into casual. Despite the fact that they got a Z extra card, that doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
GT Goku casual.
Where do you want to put these? Like, does it matter?
I mean, frankly, the Beerus Champa can stay at the bottom. GT Goku can stay at the bottom. Like, I don't care because that GT Goku never had a leg to stand on because it's just fair. It's a very fair deck, and that's the problem. And the Beerus Champa, those were bad decks anyway.
Yeah.
So if you wanted me to put it in a place, I'll put them all above Exodia. I'll put them all above I'll put them right behind. I'll put at least GT Goku behind Rose Reboot.
Okay.
But the rest you can just go at the bottom.
Okay.
Green Gotenks, I'm putting that right behind 16 in casual, despite that being painful to say. But it is a casual deck.
I mean, yeah, it's just Gohan's just better.
It's a casual deck. I'm putting Green KP and Scott Dashy tier.
Oh, let me make a tier.
Yeah, that's Scott Dashy tier.
Love that guy.
Because even though they are getting a new champ card, like
I'll read it because your eyes are old.
No, I can read it. It's a drum for 1. Or it's a drum, it costs 2, which you can play for free off of your leader.
Yeah.
But when he's played, you can add up to 1 green KP with an energy cost of 1 to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So for essentially 1 energy, you search out your 1 drop, which is fantastic. And then his permanent is if your leader is green KP or Piccolo Jr., and it's your turn, your green Demon Clans with energy cost 2 gain barrier. So on offense, all of your stuff has barrier, but on defense, your stuff doesn't have barrier, so it doesn't escalate this deck any further than Scott Dashy tier.
Yeah.
Because unless you're Scott Dashy, you're not seeing success.
And if you're Scott Dashy, right now you're playing Yellow Sin. So
yeah, exactly.
I keep watching all their locals, and he's been playing Yellow Sin, which is awesome. Actually, funny enough, did you see that video of the guy with the forest fire thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's from that, yeah. And
yeah,
shout out to City of Gods. I love your videos, man, but that video was hilarious.
Forest Fire will put your secret rare right on top.
Absolutely. So, yeah, so now we have the Scott Dashy tier. I'm actually going to make that color green, because that, makes sense. I'm going to put it... There we go. All right, so now we have the Jacob is Confused. We have the Scott Dashy tier. This is a great video, by the way. I love all this. This is fantastic.
We'll cruise right along with some green get out of the wayers. Green Cooler, green KP. I'm gonna put in green KC. Excuse me. I'm gonna put in missing pieces.
What do you think it's missing?
Both decks is Z Leader.
What's the other one that's missing? Is Z Leader?
Huh?
And you said KC and what other deck?
King Cold and Cooler.
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 Yeah.
Like I said, I'm putting them above the Saiyan trio.
Yeah.
Both of them, because the decks they can do stuff, but it's just something keeps them from being viable.
Dude,
besides the fact that Gohan's a deck.
Dude, if King Cold had a Z Leader, oh my god.
Because King Cold has all the pieces, it just doesn't have.
I love that deck. I love King Cold.
Yeah.
Cooler I don't care about, but King Cold is a fantastic deck.
I love Cooler, but there's also Black Smokes in this meta.
True.
Turtle School. I want to put missing pieces.
It just got pieces.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna make a difference.
Okay.
Like, that's the thing. I got to put it at the top of missing pieces because it could come out of its way to surprise me, because we keep getting World Martial Arts cards.
Yep.
But at the same time, like, one, it's not Gohan. Like, it's sad to say that that's going to be the answer for everything for green. Is it Gohan? Which, mind you, we're going to get to green decks that are going to question that one, so don't worry. But
yeah,
all these other ones, that's green Gohan's your entry deck.
Yep. I think, Matt, I think the deck, I'm going to make a video. All the decks that got support, I'm going to make videos about. Because I think the Turtle School deck is much better now. It got like 4 pieces of support in this set. 2 of which are promos, and then 2 are like archetype cards. It's still really slower, but it's more of a hand destruction deck, which is fine, because I think hand destruction is going to make a comeback here. But it is a very good yellow. It is not yellow deck. God, it's a very good green deck. But I agree. I think it's maybe missing. I honestly think what it's missing. It's missing people to play the deck. I think that's what it's missing. I think if people played the deck, I think we would see it top. But I think people are just so busy playing Gohan, and then there's 2 really good green decks coming out in this set. So I think people are just gonna go by the wayside. All right, so now you got 5 more green decks.
Android 16, casual.
Okay.
I had high expectations for this deck. It fell flat.
I'm gonna put it at the top of casual.
Oh, I'm gonna put it up there with blue Android 16, sure.
Okay.
But it's casual.
Yeah, Gogeta and Cell are the last 2 that are not the new ones.
Gogeta, potentially viable.
Okay.
At the very bottom of it, but potentially viable.
I think it's better than... I would put it above Polku.
That's fair. I'll put it there, but the deck shouldn't keep topping. It still does. The champ card is still really good.
Yeah.
And it does some neat shit, but It's not going to outperform
It's
Gohan.
not Gohan.
Reboot Cell, also potentially viable.
Man,
And I'll put
imagine
it-
being able to like swing with a card and like comboing like super combos from the drop and then making your opponent discard cards.
Yeah, imagine.
I wonder if you can do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, you lose games if you try to do it instead of just winning, but yes.
I'm gonna put this above Soul Striker. I think the deck is, you can either build it towards the old win condition of Perfect Force, or you can just build it with just like good green shit,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure you have androids. But the more green androids we get, because I think we're gonna end up getting more green androids here in the future. I think this deck's just gonna get even better.
Yep.
All right, now the new ones. Woo!
Go Bros.
Yeah, go Bros.
Very second or third on potentially viable.
I'm gonna put it second.
Like I said, it's either in front of Broly Surge or behind Broly Surge.
I'm gonna put it above Broly Surge. I think it's better than Broly Surge.
And I'll give you why, because people might argue that this deck is, it's Green Trunks Jita, it's gonna be good. No, it's not.
No,
It's not. It's the deck does what Trunks Jita does without any protection.
yeah.
The deck also has a boss monster that, why would you play that over Goku Gohan? Ever. Goku Gohan is just infinitely a better card than what the Go-Bros boss monster is, and has way less summoning conditions.
Yeah, so I don't think I've shared you the list yet. After this, I'll probably send you the list. So, I actually secretly played this deck on Untap like a lot when it first got announced.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good. You can play it like there. It should be no surprise now because people have already talked about it. But you can play it with Healing Pod. If you watch my video, you guys should have already known this. But like, Healing Pod makes it draw 2. You have all of these little cards that either have Double Strike or Crit, and it's got a lot of potential with that. It removes unison. It removes markers off unisons like crazy.
Well, Green does that inherently.
Correct. It just adds more to it. It's a Green Saiyan, but it also can be turned into a hand destruction deck, and it's very viable. Like, it can be like surprisingly viable. I think it's going to be a green deck that's going to surprise a lot of people. I think people.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'd be lying if I was sitting here saying I wasn't getting stuff, buying up stuff and having it sit here just for when this deck comes out, so I can, toy around with it. I would be lying to you. But do I think it's going to make a meta impact the same way Gohan did? Absolutely not.
I don't think it's going to make the same. I don't think it's going to make the same impact as Gohan did, because Gohan's still a deck. I think this deck can potentially be another consistent green deck that can top.
Sure.
I definitely can see that, and I'll take it a step further. I think we're going to see it a lot in other regions, not in the U.S. or in NA. I think we're going to see this deck do things in a lot of other regions. I could be wrong, of course, but I definitely can see this deck doing other things in other regions, because once people realize the strengths of this deck, they're different strengths than what Gohan has. We can be honest. Gohan is a 2-trick pony. At the end of the day, we talked about this in the video with Damien. It is a 2-trick pony. You have the Vegeta Trunks, and you have the 8-drop. There's a lot of other cool text you can do in the deck, but if you stop one of those 2 parts of the deck does lose a lot of steam. You either stop the beginning of the deck, you petrify the shit out of the Vegeta, you play BMS, you counter like there's different things you can do.
Play BMS. I ain't scared of that.
Yeah, but like you can play through it.
Yeah.
Or
was it Navarro did that to me, and I said I ain't scared. Play that BMS.
Yep. You lost by 5K.
I'll discard 2 and I'll draw them right back. Don't worry.
Yeah. So it's either you stop that or you stop at the 8-drop, and the 8-drop is so choreographed now. Like there's decks that have answers to it. Yellow has a very easy answer to that card. So that's kind of the thing. Gohan has a lot of different ways you can play it, which is why it's the better green deck. Goten, you do have to play a very big chunk. If you're playing the deck the traditional way, you have a very big chunk of the deck you have to play because the archetype's so big.
Which was my exact words, if you remember, when you texted me, said, hey, the Gohan reveals are out, and my exact response was, oh boy, another green archetype with 30 plus cards.
Yep, it's got a huge archetype. But if you play the hand destruction version of the deck, it is significantly smaller, and it's still very good. So, yeah, that's my say on that deck. And then Broly. I'll let you do all the talking about Broly because I think it deserves that.
Is there 2? What the hell? That's an 8. Okay. I think Broly is honestly put it at the bottom of A tier.
Okay.
You know,
explain to the people why you think that.
Well, for starters, it's not restricted to just its current stuff. Whew, excuse me. This is a Broly coming out that is a better. What was that? That Broly was what? Set 1? Broly Ring Broly?
Yeah.
Old Broly?
Yeah.
It's a better Set 1 Broly. It's essentially reboot Set 1 Broly.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah.
You know, you have access to all of your old Broly Ring cards, plus all of the new stuff, and the new stuff is good enough to help propel it. Plus, you have all the new good generic green cards, and he's a Green Saiyan.
Yep.
Like if this deck had come out, and for some reason Broly wasn't a Saiyan, we wouldn't be having this discussion right now. It's as simple as that. But the fact that he is a Saiyan and all of his support cards are Saiyan, it opens up the doors to all of the green good stuff, all of it, plus his own stuff.
Yeah, I think
you know,
it's under.
Especially because you're not restricted to just Broly Ring. If I remember correctly, you could play the Dormant Potential Unleashed or whatever, the red field.
You can play Dormant Legends, but you have a field in the deck that counts as Dormant Legends. So you would
So like I said, you have access to like the Dormant Legend stuff as well.
Yeah, you can play that line. You can play there's the Dash Pack field spell that counts as Broly's Ring.
Demonic Restraint.
Yeah, that card. That card is awesome. Being able to play Rampaging Horror off that card.
Yep.
It
like I said, it doesn't have just one way you can build it.
Yeah.
And it's a Green Saiyan.
Yeah.
And it has access to all of its old support.
Yep. I think I think I would put the Goten Gohan deck where the Broly is, but I think they're very close. So, yeah, I'm going to put Broly there because that's where you put it. I think those two are very interchangeable, but I think either one of these decks could be the next green deck. It's just going to depend on people playing the deck.
Well, it'll also depend on if down the road they do something. Bless you.
Thank you.
It'll also depend if down the road if they do something to get rid of Gohan.
Yeah, which I can definitely see them doing that at some point. I don't think they should, because I think the deck is incredibly
deck's
counterable.
Fine.
Okay. So that's all the green stuff.
Yep, that's green.
I'll fly through black here, because there's
casual. All right, we've talked about black.
So we'll start with casual tier. So I'm gonna put Prism down here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna put Prism above Pycon. It needs a Z leader. It needs a Z leader. If it gets a Z leader, it actually the deck could be pretty good. It just needs a Z leader. You need to be able to play all the two cost from your hand for one instead of having to use the combo. If you can do that, the deck is gonna be really good. Basically, like how the Toa, that expert deck Toa leader came out and people were breaking the rules.
how it played the cards before they said no, it doesn't work like that.
Yep. If you could do that in the Bardock deck, the deck is like crazy. Mechagabora, it's casual, which hurts me to say. Yep. It also needs a Z leader.
Yep.
It needs a 20k Z leader, and this deck will be probably like potentially viable. It's crazy that it just needs one card.
Yep.
Announcer. So I put Announcer on the list because the Announcer got 2 promo cards, the Chi-Chi and the Goku, which are, it's basically the hand destruction version of Fated Rivals, but they're Announcer, but they can be played in the Announcer deck or any green deck. The Chi-Chi, plays for 1. It's got Deflect and Barrier. The turn that's played, Goku comes down for 2. If it pops anything, and then if you have the Chi-Chi in play, your opponent discards 2 cards. And then if Goku's in play, Chi-Chi becomes a 20k double striker as well.
Yep.
So it's a 3 energy play. It's essentially the same thing as Fated Rivals, but it's just another combo, and they're both World Tournament. So, but
still casual.
Yeah, it's still casual. It's probably going to be above Red Ribbon Army because I just think Announcer technically has so many cards. Like the actual archetype for World Tournament is very big if you actually look at the cards, but it's casual. Actually, I'm gonna put it below Megikabura. I'm sorry, I can't disrespect Megikabura like that. But it is above Prism. I think it's a better deck than Prism. So, AOD. I think AOD is missing. Actually, I don't know what it's missing. I just want to put it here because I don't want to put in potentially viable.
Yeah, it's something.
I'm going to put it above the trio deck, but below the green decks.
Yep.
Xenosin, I'm going to put
Jacob is confused here.
No, I'm going to make my own tier.
Oh, the Legends tier. Got it.
I'm going to put only good if your Legends, because Kaio Chris is bad.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's where that's where it's gonna go.
All right, cool.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know, and it's hilarious.
Actually, I'm gonna put Legends calls a judge on me for leader auto. Okay, there it is. And actually, I'm gonna put it below Jacob and Scott Dashy because both of those guys are awesome. Well,
no one's safe here at Just Saiyan Podcast.
I'm just saying.
For you.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. It's that's where it's gonna go. Supreme Kai, I think it's missing a it's missing. It's really aggressive, but it's really RNG dependent. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it below.
AOD.
No, I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it below. Below Turtle School.
Okay.
Because you can still kill somebody on like turn 2, turn 3 if you hit the nuts. It's basically like a worse version of Gogeta. It's like Food Club Gogeta, Xeno.
Great value.
Yeah, it's great value time. Yeah. All right. God Trunks. God Trunks is A tier. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it above Trunks Reboot. Everyone's favorite black deck.
Unless you're Kyle Chris, then it's casual.
Yeah, unless you're me, it's casual. I cannot play this deck well when it matters. I should say. I mean, I did win. I did win our last store champs. We had a lot of good players with this deck, but then I played it online and I just mill all of my fucking good cards, like my super combos, my petrifications, and then I just lose to worse players. So yeah, I'm just a bad player with mill decks, and I play black, so it's like a weird thing. So, but it is a very good deck. It gets every black deck got better because now you have the Fu Cumber combination, so you can play these cards. You have a barrier removal card for 1 energy, and then you have a Fu card that can play the burial card for 1 energy. I just don't think that combination is as good in Trunks as it is in other decks. So, but it's still an A tier deck.
Yep.
Hatchiak, I am putting it top of B tier.
Put it wherever the fuck you want it.
So
put it in the trash.
No, this deck is, yeah. So for one, we have the new Fu card, works in this deck. It's an 8 cost. So now we have a 2 cost 8 drop that swings twice. That also has Overlord. You can play the 7 cost off of it to warp something, so that's good. So you have a 7 cost swing for 35k double strike and 2 8 cost swings for 2. So now we have that. And you have the new champ Hatchiyak card, the Winter Stamp, which is basically a floodgate that warps something on play.
Do you want your friends to hate you? Play Hatchiyak. Otherwise, move on.
Absolutely. Everyone hates playing against this deck, and it's fine.
You want to make a 4-round locals last 6 hours? Play Hatchiyak.
Honestly, it doesn't really last that long.
My fucking ass.
If you guys just concede, I just win.
Damn near do every time I sit down and see that leader.
Absolutely.
And it's not because I can't beat it, it's because I don't want to sit there for the entire round.
So next is going to be Guardians of History. This is the Goku Xeno deck. I'm actually going to put this deck in... I'm going to put this deck in top of B tier.
Above Hatchiyak?
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to be realistic. I'm going to put Hatch below 7 and below Tyler Ku.
Good.
I'm going to put Goku at the top of B tier because of one specific thing. So this new champ card.
Oh yeah, the 10 times Kamehameha.
Man, this card is fucking good. So it's a one cost. You discard a card from your hand when this card is placed in the battle area. You put 2 cards from your you can take up to 2 cards from your life to your hand. So you can awaken at 6 life. You get to add any non-super combo Goku Xeno card from your drop or your warp, which means you have the Overwhelm TP that you play and the 5 cost which goes into it, so you can grab both of those. You also can grab Beyond All Limits.
Yep.
This is where the card gets really good. So when this card is when a card is moved from your warp to your drop area by your leader effect, which is literally your activate main, you draw the card and you put 2 cards back, you warp any of your opponent's battle cards. So your leader effect now is a draw 1, cycle back up to 4 cards, and then warp one of your opponent's battle cards.
Yep.
That's crazy. Activate battle. You remove this card from the game. You give any of your Goku Xeno cards. I'm sorry, burst 2, which matters because your leader plays all the Vegex cards.
Yep.
It gains 5k in crit. So not only is your leader a 15k double striker that gains 5k for every 8 battle cards, black battle cards in your warp. Now you gain an extra 5k and crit. It's super fucking good.
Yeah.
So you also play like Fearless Fusion. You play the Beyond All Limits Champ Vegeta combo. You can play the God Trunks card if you want to. You don't have to. You play the Vegex stuff. Like, it plays all of the good bursting warp Saiyan cards, and it's a double strike leader. It's good.
Yep.
All right, let's leave the last 3. So Vegito, I'm gonna put Vegito in missing pieces, unfortunately.
Wow.
It is. I don't say missing pieces. No, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it in potentially viable. I'm gonna put it below Cell. Reboot Cell.
Okay.
So it's really cool. It's the archetype cards are good. I think there needs to be a solidified deck list for the deck right now, because the deck, there's just so many things you can do, but there's just better black decks. But if you play this deck, I don't think you're wrong. So like, I compare this deck a lot to I've been comparing it a lot in, like, personally to myself, to the Ape-Ku deck, the yellow Ape-Ku leader, the starter deck. It's a very good yellow deck, but Trunks Vegeta exists. It's always going to be a good deck because the deck itself, the actual engine is fantastic, but it's just not as good as, it's like a tier, it's always going to be a tier 2 yellow deck until something comes out specifically for that deck that makes it over the top. That's why I'm putting Vegito here. Same thing. All of the fusions are good. It doesn't play Overrealm. The Goku and Vegetas are not Xeno, so you can't use the Xeno stuff very well. It's just a good black deck. It's okay. It's good. It's okay to have good, okay decks. That's what it is. It's a tier 2 deck. Fu. I'm putting Fu A tier. I'm gonna put it above. So I'm actually gonna switch this a little bit. I'm gonna put Broly above 3Han.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put Super Fu above Broly.
Okay.
It is a very, very, very good deck. So this deck, you have two defensive outs to anything, because your activate battle on your front side basically can block any attack. You basically turn the attack over to a Cumber card. And then you have your secret rare, which basically stops you from taking damage. That's pretty crazy for a black deck. The only problem with the deck is that you have to awaken on 4 life. Can't awaken early, and you don't restand energy, and you're a black deck. That's not very good.
Yeah.
So you have to rely on your activate battle, and your extra card can do the same thing. You can pop your extra card to play a Cumber in rest mode, and then use your activate battle to go for the attack. Everything's energy dependent in this deck. I'm gonna play it, but it's not as good as Cumber.
Nope.
And I'm putting Cumber at S tier. Fuck all of you for saying this deck is bad.
I disagree with you.
It's fine.
No. I'm gonna explain it to you.
Go ahead.
It's not S tier.
Okay.
Because this deck does not have a low floor.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're right. A tier.
Yeah, it's A tier. It's above Fu. Honestly, in my opinion, it's above Crimson Gohan or Crimson Trunks.
Okay. I'm gonna put it right below the 3 blue decks. The main 3 blue decks. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, you're right. I got ahead of myself.
It's not S tier.
You're right. It's not an easy deck to play. You're right.
It is not an easy deck to play, but if you can't, because I played a few hands with it because I didn't know if I was getting all my cards to play that cell deck at locals. So I'm like, all right, I have Cumber built, so worst case, I guess I'll play some hands with Cumber, see how I feel. And I text you instantly and said, okay, I fucking get it.
Yeah, no, and no one understands it unless they play the deck. Because, like, people, they see me play it, and they're like, why are you fucking playing this deck? The deck is really, really good. It's super hard to kill.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the new Cumber that warps something ignoring barrier. You have the new Fu, which is a great boss monster for the deck. It has Overlord, which means that you can Overlord your opponent's cards with it as well. But then I got a Champ card that draws a card, gives any card Servant, and then you can swing with it to combo with a card with Servant. But also you can play that card off of the Fu card, which means you can play it from the drop or your hand, and it still draws a card and gives the same effect. That's so good. You're going to have to deal with this deck now. The only problem with this deck before, which is why people have pivoted to playing Trunks, is that barrier removal for black is very difficult. So you just have to, like, turn shit sideways. Cumber's a mid-range control black deck, mid-range more so. But you had to pay 2 now for Black Smoke, or you have to play like these shitty combinations to play Fearless Fusion. But now you can just tap 1 and play Cumber and warp something. Like, it's so good. It's definitely going to be the black deck that I'm going to play again and play it correctly with the right secret rare this fucking time.
Yeah, say, hey, Chris, I only keep 2 decks built.
Yeah, Cumber, yeah.
Trust me, I get it.
There's 3 viable secret rares for this deck. You can play Evil Saiyan.
Yep.
You can play the new one, which I wouldn't play the new one, but you can play the new one. Or you can play Pan, because Pan's a free floodgate. Like, those are the 3 I think you can play for the deck. Don't play Golden Cooler.
You can also play the new red one, because you do have a Z leader.
Oh yeah, technically, yeah. You can play the new one too. That is an option.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, but
yeah, I wouldn't either. But it is an option.
Yeah, no, you play Evil Saiyan and you go on with your life.
Yeah.
Don't play Golden Cooler.
Yeah, don't play Golden Cooler. Don't
not in this deck.
Don't be like me.
Yeah, don't be like Chris. Not in this deck.
So that kind of rounds out everything but yellow.
Oh.
So I'm gonna make another tier list for Baba. I'm just gonna go to the very bottom. If you play Baba, let me know so I can block you. And that's it. If you play this, actually, if you play Baba over webcam, yeah, don't fucking do it.
Yeah, this deck is going to probably get banned in webcam events if Bandai knows what they're doing.
That'd be funny. It's just banned because it's just a fucking troll.
Like I said, that's the problem with it. The only problem with the deck is webcam.
Yeah.
Like if there was no webcam events, this deck wouldn't be. We wouldn't be having this discussion with the deck. It'd be casual, in my opinion. But
okay.
in webcam events, like we already have a huge problem with cheating in webcam events.
Yeah.
This deck doesn't help that problem.
All right, so we'll just kind of go back and forth. Go ahead and pick a yellow deck, and we'll just go back and forth.
Golden Cooler, top of A tier.
Golden Frieza?
Oh, Frieza, yeah, that. It plays Golden Cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a very difficult deck to play.
Yeah, top of A tier, though.
Yep, top of A tier. It's very, very good. I think we had that. I think we had it here last tier list, too.
Yep.
I wish it would have got banned.
I don't. Deck's fine.
No. So, this is the Soul Striker theory.
Oh, you're just tired of seeing it.
I'm tired of seeing it, but also it does limit. The thing is, I understand the concept of the deck because it's like, hey, if you are like a fucking wizard at sequencing, you can play this deck, and this deck performs like a blue deck with yellow pieces. This deck is I love watching people play the deck.
Love people watching them play the deck well.
Yeah, I don't like them playing against me, but I like watching the deck being played if they know how to play the deck well.
Yep.
Extremely high ceiling, extremely high floor of entry of being able to play the deck well. So I agree. I'm gonna throw you through a loop here. I'm gonna put the new Korin-Ku, which is what I'm gonna call it. That's the new Goku Korin deck.
Yep.
I'm putting it in A tier.
I had it in B tier personally, so okay.
I'm putting it in A tier. I'm putting it above. I'm gonna put it above. God Trunks.
Okay.
So you have 7 final flashes. You have 7 final flashes. You can hit unisons. You can tap unisons and battle cards ignoring Barry and blank them. And you can play all the good yellow shit. This deck is really, really cool. I might be bullshitting here by putting it in tier A, but I truly think this deck has the potential to be like, it's not Golden Frieza, but it has the potential to enter the conversation with Trunks Vegeta, with Frieza swap as being like that weird tier 1.5 of yellow decks. Thoughts?
No, I mean, like I said, I put it in B tier because of that, almost those exact reasonings.
Okay.
So I'll let you put it in A tier. That's fine with me.
I think it's an A tier because there is some sequencing that has to go with the deck. Because and the deck doesn't draw from attacking. You have to utilize playing a skillless card. You have to utilize all these weird pieces. So that's why I'm putting it in A tier. Your turn.
Majin Vegeta. I'm gonna put it in between Gohan and Pan and S tier.
I agree. I think it's the best yellow deck. I think it's the easiest yellow deck to play, and
yeah, it's not the best. It's not the best yellow deck.
Golden
Frieza.
Golden Frieza. Yes.
But it is the easiest yellow deck to play.
Yep.
Don't need to go deeper into that.
Deck shits on bad players.
Yep.
Makes bad players good.
Yep.
Makes bad players good. I'll do Frieza swap. So I'm gonna make another tier list. This is fun. Actually, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna make another tier list. I'm gonna make another tier list, and this one's gonna say Christian, the Christian tier, unless he plays PyCon. Yeah. It's gonna go there. It's gonna go above C tier. Actually, it's gonna go above B tier. So it's the Christian tier. All honesty, I think this deck is very good. It's very fucking annoying. But I think this deck loses to Black next set. Like, that was the one thing that this deck had. Like, this deck actually kind of hurts Trunks Vegeta, or God Trunks. If you don't hit your mills correctly. But this deck loses to Black next set. So I think this deck's gonna end up being, like, in all honesty, it's probably gonna be like in somewhere in B tier, if Black is very highly represented, because you can just play one card, and unless they Cold Bloodlust it, you're getting rid of their 5-drop every time. So
that's honestly why I have, like, B tier says potentially viable, but I think it's B tier just because it's a 1.5 deck, because it is one of the decks, if you get rid of their 3-drops, which I like me playing Gohan against it, I don't KO, or any green deck against it, I don't KO anything but your 3-drops.
Yeah.
Because once you get rid of all their 3-drops, the deck really can't function.
Yep.
So.
And I did forget, I forgot 2 other decks that I did not put on this list, but it's okay.
Okay.
Shroom and Salsa.
Oh, yeah.
I put Shroom and Salsa in A tier.
Yep.
And then set 2 Vegito, I put it in B tier. So if you guys watched the video this far, I'm putting those 2 decks in those. I just forgot to put them on the list because I added too many other fucking decks. I probably could have cut out like PyCon and Baba and shit and put those in there, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Your turn.
I'm gonna knock out a few here.
Yeah, go ahead, knock them out.
Bobbity, Super 17, Green Gotenks, or Yellow Gotenks, Goku Jr., casual.
Okay.
All of them. Yes, they got support.
17.
Yes, they got new cards.
Gotenks.
Yes, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, the Bobbity one is easy. Why are you playing Bobbity? Play Majin Vegeta. Quit being bad.
Yeah.
The other 3, cool, they got support. That didn't make a difference. They weren't relevant even without it.
Yeah.
And their support ain't gonna fix them.
It's cool support.
It's cool support, but it ain't gonna fix the decks.
Yeah, until someone actually builds them, I don't think they're gonna be very good.
I mean, prove us wrong.
Yeah.
We proved ourselves wrong about Cell, so.
It's true. It's true. I'm gonna knock out a few myself here. We'll do the flip Gohan. It got support. It's still a casual deck. I'm actually gonna put that in the Jacob tier, but at the very back of Jacob tier, because that's a Jacob deck.
Which one?
The Great Ape Son Gohan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's going in the Jacob tier. Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku Senses Regained. This card only exists because of the new promo, which is basically a reboot version of Heartfelt. I don't know if you've read that card.
I have.
That is fucking insane. This deck could kill on turn 3 almost every game. It's a better version of Exodia. I say better because, again, I hate the Exodia.
So casual, got it.
Yeah, so casual. Yeah, it's gonna go in casual. But I hope somebody plays it, and I can't wait to petrify the 5-drop. I can't wait. I'm gonna hold 1 energy up. You're gonna play it. I'm gonna crit a life. You're gonna swing. I'm gonna petrify it. Game's gonna be over. Flip Saiyan deck. It's gonna go in casual. It's gonna go below SS4 Green Goku deck because it's just not a good deck. It's got too much sequencing. It's just a bad launch. Majin Buu loses to Black Smoke. It's going to go in casual. And okay, first one, Trunks Cheetah. I'm putting it in S tier, the very back of S tier.
I want to, just because it is easily played, but at the same time, like, the deck has only just kept falling off.
It only falls off because people are playing Majin Vegeta.
Well, yeah,
but this deck actually beats Majin Vegeta, I feel like.
I know, it's such a weird place for me, because, like, I understand the deck's good. I'm not arguing that the deck is good. But I don't want it to be thrown that high.
You want to put it in B tier?
I want to, only because, like, the deck is good, but when are you ever going to play it?
It will top again at Nats.
Okay.
And that's the problem. Is like there's that guy from New York. He's won both God Rare tournaments in New York. It's like his name starts with an M. I don't want to mispronounce it, but his last name's Khan. The way he pilots this deck is like how Jared Lopez pilots 16, or in this case, like Expert deck. It's like fucking actually even like Eddie, the FOE guy. Like watching them play like Trunks Cheetah, they play the deck two very different ways, but the deck looks like a fucking Dragon Ball tutorial video on how to play the game correctly, like how they play the deck. It's so easy watching it, and then you play the deck, you're like, I don't have any fucking pieces. I can't find them. Like it's such a good deck. It's gonna top again unless the deck gets touched. And I don't think it's going to because it's just not playing it. No one's playing it right now and performing with the deck. Until Nats, it will top. All right, we got 3 decks left. It's been a long fucking video.
Yeah, no shit. Shin Shenron. I'm gonna joke and say Scott Dashy tier.
Yeah.
But realistically, B tier.
Yep.
It's got walking cold bloodlust.
Where do you want to put it?
In front of Tyler Q.
Okay. I love this deck. I wish I could play it.
What, Yellow Sin?
Yeah, if I owned all the cards, I'd play it.
I played it and then decided I wanted to quit being degenerate.
Yeah, that's understandable. I'll do Ape-Coup because I talked about it. It's gonna go right behind Vegito. It's a tier 2 yellow deck. It's a very good deck. Just there's better yellow decks. Again, every yellow deck that I love. I cannot wait for this, man. This $90 Champ Sin card is just gonna get countered by a $5 SR. I can't wait.
Yeah.
You tap 1, you play Cumber, you warp the 4-drop. It's done with. But like this whole deck is barrier, so like it's really cool. But again, it's a good viable deck. It's a good viable deck. And then you have Spirit Bomb.
Potentially viable.
Yep.
Above Soul Striker.
Yeah, fuck Soul Striker. Do you think it's better than Ape-Coup or below Ape-Coup?
I think it's with playability. I think it's a 1A 1B.
Okay.
When it comes to Ape-Coup, only because what if you're missing both your Spirit Bombs? You know.
It's true. That's why you run 3. That's why you run 3.
Yeah, like it's one of the things like, yes, I understand the probability of that is extremely low, but I also played Mecha Kabora and opened once with 6 balls in life, so.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Scoopity scoop.
Scoopity scoop, man. I'm done.
In exactly my words. Well, we're going to game 2. You haven't played anything, yeah, but 6 of my balls are in my life.
Yep. So I have the tier list here on the screen. Our only S tier decks, we have Gohan, Majin Vegeta, Pan, and Vegeta, or Trunks Cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
A tier, Golden Frieza, Expert deck 21, the other 21, Aegis Cheetah, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, Cumber, Korinku, God Trunks, Reboot Trunks, Fu, Broly, or Saga Broly, I think is what Damien called it. I kind of like that name.
I do like that too.
Saga Broly. 3 Han. We have the Christian tier, which I'm
considering A tier.
Yeah.
And I also want to clarify again, even though we clarified this once at the end of the video, S tier is not necessarily better than A tier. S tier is just easier to play of a top tier deck.
Yeah, that needs to be like that is a big thing. It's S tier does not mean that it's better.
You know, S tier is not better. S tier is just easier to play.
Yeah, which makes the deck essentially, it makes the deck better because it's easier to play. It just doesn't mean, because at the end of the day it comes down to the player. If you have 2 people who are piloting Majin Vegeta and one player is just better at the game, that player is more than likely going to win the game. Yep. But you can take the player who's not as good with Majin Vegeta, and they can probably do consistently well because the deck is easy to play. That's that's what we're talking about. So, yeah. So, any changes you would like to make on your list? Looking down.
No.
Okay.
I mean, put Hatch in the trash, but.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Hot takes, ban Hatch. Not because the deck's broken, just because I'm tired of playing against it.
Dude, I cannot wait to play this deck at locals at at next door champs. I'm gonna go down to the gamer zone and play this. I can't wait. All the new players, I'm just gonna go play Lucario. It's gonna be great.
no, you won't. They can't afford the product.
That's true. Can't afford $50 starter decks.
You're gonna make them go play Fusion World.
Yeah, go. Yeah, this is the portal. This is like in Diablo. This is like the portal to Tristram. This is the portal to Fusion World. It's playing against Hashiak. I'm sending you right to Fusion World.
I'll pick up all the stuff. We'll both go down and play Hashiak.
Absolutely, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna bring the Excedrin.
Round 1, we play each other.
Yeah. Fantastic. So this is the list, guys. Go ahead and debate it. Tell us that we're wrong. That's okay.
Tell me how Ultimate works.
Yep. Yeah, so this is the tier list. So fun podcast back. We made a 2-hour-long tier list video. So
this is to make up for the fact that we took some time off.
Yeah, I think it's a great conversation. I think you guys can listen to it and enjoy it, hopefully. And then next podcast will actually be a podcast episode. We'll have a shit ton of topics to go over.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to complain about there being a tier list, just remember, y'all received the first one so well, you did this to yourselves.
Yeah, and if you guys don't like it, then don't watch it. I don't know what to tell you.
Or just tell us that, hey, tier lists suck, and that's good criticism. We'll work off of that. But everyone received the first one so well that we figured you'd like a second one.
Yeah, I think tier lists are fun for the community. Sometimes they cause conversation. Sometimes people just don't give a shit. Either way, It's just a conversation piece. So, don't take our words as like fucking concrete information. It's just our opinion.
Oh yeah, certainly not.
So we're not like we're just two people who play the game who just have an opinion. That's the whole point of this fucking podcast. So, any final words before we cut this off so I can go edit this for 7 hours?
Nope. Just it's good to be back, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed.
Yeah, don't fucking play Gogeta. All right, that's it for the podcast.
Don't play Gogeta.
Yeah. Go sell your Gogeta cards now. Go spend that money on Lucario, or I don't know. It's fine. But yeah. All right, guys. And we'll catch you next time.
See ya.